Time to make the coffee. Today's flavor is cinnamon churros, and I'm going to have it with cinnamon creamer. I think that'll be good. Cinnamon is actually very good for you. It's got a lot of antifungal properties, because I know it's good to sprinkle on your starts in your garden to keep the damping off in control. But cinnamon has a lot of other good features too, but I'm not sure what they are. So I guess if you're curious about that, you'll have to Google it. Anyway, today looks like it's going to be a nice day. It's going to be 81 for the high, but right now it's only 54, so it's pretty chilly out there. So I have to get out into my garden a little bit today, do some watering, maybe do some cleanup. I'll have to see. But I'm going to wait until it warms up a little bit, because it's still a little chilly. And I want to enjoy my coffee this morning. Go over my budget book. I still haven't made a decision on that, whether I'm going to do that every day or every other day. I don't know yet. A lot of you seem to like it, so I definitely don't want to cut it out. And it keeps me on track. It keeps me from spending too much all the time. So it's worked real well for that over the past, I don't know, I've been doing that like maybe 3 years, maybe. Somewhere around there. Anyway, I started tracking my budget because I was spending too much money, and I was trying to get out of debt, which I did in January, but I definitely want to stay out of debt, because in today's crazy economy, getting into debt is probably not a good idea, because we don't want to lose our assets. So anyway, this coffee cup I've had for a lot of years. It says coffee, and it's like a little sidewalk cafe on there. I don't know if you can see that, but I like it. For a long time, this was my go-to coffee cup, but now I have a lot of coffee cups. And I have a lot of coffee cups because of my YouTube channel. All right, let's see. Let's see if that's enough. I like cinnamon flavor in my coffee. I think it's very tasty. What is your favorite kind of coffee? Do you like just plain? Do you add syrups to it? Or do you buy flavored coffee? I'm curious. Cheers! Yeah, that's good. It's good and hot. So anyway, we're not getting rain for a few days now. So we haven't had rain in a while either. I hope we're not going into a drought, because then it really gets tedious watering and watering. And it gets expensive too. But that's what happens when you have a garden. And I do want to keep my garden. But next year I'm going to do things a little differently. Again, this year I downsized my garden, believe it or not, because I know it still has a lot of things in it. But next year I want to downsize it a little more, but I definitely don't want to give it up. Gardening is healthy for you. It's a good form of exercise and, physical activity. So as we get older, we don't want to just give everything up and, go sit in our rocking chairs. That's not good. So, all right, well, this morning I am still going to do the budget book. So, I will meet you over there. We'll take a look to see if I did any damage or not. Okay, back at the budget book. I am not sure what I'm going to do with the budget book, but for now I'm going to carry on. It does help keep me in line. Maybe I'll just make the segment a little shorter. I don't know. We'll see. But, you know, a lot of you seem to like it. Some of you don't, and that's okay. You can always fast forward if there's things in the video that you don't like. But it really does help me out if you watch the whole video. So, because YouTube kind of goes by watch hours, and, you know, it's got a real complicated algorithm. So, liking, sharing, commenting, and watching the whole video, including those pesky commercials, that all does help me out. We YouTubers, there's a thing called AdSense, and you get a few cents every time somebody watches your video. Now, you only have to watch them, from what I understand, you only have to watch them for like 30 seconds, and then it'll count as having been watched. Because I know sometimes you get those really super long infomercial things that, you know, who wants to watch that? But anyway, it helps out YouTubers because, you know, we do make a little bit of money on YouTube. Now, there's big YouTubers out there that have, you know, 1 million and more subscribers, and they make really, really good money. But little piddly-poo channels like mine, you know, you do get a little bit of reimbursement, but it's nothing to write home about. But every little thing helps when you're retired and on a fixed income. So I just thought I would throw it out there. So if you have an inkling, subscribing would be really good. And, yep, that's the way YouTube works. So anyway, yesterday I didn't spend any money, yay me. I'm trying to keep a lid on it. There are still a few things that I want to get that I haven't finished as far as spending money and buying things that I've been wanting for the house. So there's still a few things. The garden's pretty good. I have to order one more stand for one more city picker box, because that's what I want to use next year pretty much exclusively. I have some big black totes that I plant tomatoes in, and I'll probably keep, maybe 3 of those. I'm not sure yet, but I definitely want to do almost all my gardening in the city picker boxes and also in the other self-watering containers that I have out there. So that's the plan for the garden next year, and hopefully I can rein in on the expenses of having a garden, because it does cost money. It's not free. You have to have, you know, I mean, you can make your own fertilizers, you can make your own, refresh your soil, which is what I do. I just make, you know, my own compost, and that helps a lot. But, you know, it all takes a lot of work and a lot of time. But, you know, I find that you either spend time or you spend money. One or the other almost always happens. So I try and keep a balance between the two, spending my time doing things and also spending the money that I have doing things. So anyway, I want to get more green check marks this month, because I've really had a lot of red X's the last, I would say since spring started, because I was setting up the garden. My house needed things that I've been putting off. And of course, hopefully in October, I'll be getting a new deck. Now the deck, I've decided to go with the composite. And yes, I know it's way more expensive. But, you know, as I get older, I don't want to deal with painting and staining and all those things that go with deck maintenance. I just want to get, you know, my little pressure hose or pressure washer and clean it off once or twice a year and be done with it. So sometimes as you get older, you do have to end up spending more money, which is actually the time in your life where many of us don't have a lot of money to spend. But you try and find, you know, wherever you can, you try and find the money that you need. So I'm still putting $100 a month into my Christmas fund. I'm still remaining debt-free. So that's my goal. And as long as that happens, I feel okay to spend money on other things. So, okay, that's it for my little budget book for today. And I have to sit here and drink my coffee and decide what it is I want to do today. All right, well, this morning I have some dehydrated salad kit that I bought on markdown for 99 cents. So what I'm going to do is turn this into a powder for flavoring soups, stews, anything like that. Because a lot of times when you look in the ingredients in spices, you see carrots and greens. So I'm going to make my own, but rather than leave it like this, I'm going to turn it into a powder. Now I could add tomato to it as well, but if I get too many tomatoes, then I will start to dehydrate them, because it's the easiest way to keep them. But for now, I'm just going to take this blade on my little blender. And I got this from Aldi's a long time ago, but I saw when I went to Aldi's this, when was it, yesterday? They did have these little blenders, and they're actually in nicer colors now. So I'm going to go ahead and make this into a powder for down the road, and I can add that to soups for extra flavor. Alright, so what I do is I just put my little trays. This is a real tiny dehydrator that I bought for small projects like this. And all I do is empty it onto one of these flexible mats that I got from Dollar Tree. And then I can pour it into the container pretty easily. So I have one more little tray to go, and this is what I ground up already, and it'll take a long time to fill up this container. And this still has a little tiny bit of Parmesan cheese in it, which is fine. That'll give it a little extra flavor. So that's what I'm doing this morning. So this is a whole bag of salad kit that otherwise would have gone to waste. So dehydrate some things, and then you can use them as flavoring, and it packs a whole lot of nutrients into very little space. So I'll add to this as I get more salad kits that need to be used up, and I'll show you my little dehydrator. So this is the little dehydrator that I have. I got it on Amazon quite a while ago, and I can leave it out, so if you don't have a whole lot of room, if you're in an apartment or you have a tiny kitchen, This is a great little dehydrator, and it's an Elite Gourmet. I'm not affiliated with this brand or company at all, but I did find it on Amazon, and I do get a lot of use out of it. So if you're hesitating about buying a dehydrator because you don't have a lot of room, this might be an option for you. Well, let's take a look in the fridge and see what I can have for brunch. Oh, I see avocados. I love avocados. And I have 2 left. So this one feels like it's the softest. So I'm going to have that on some bread. And yeah, that should be good. All right, well, I have this bread that I bought from Aldi's that I'm trying to use up. And it's an Italian bread, but it's kind of dry for a sandwich, but it makes great toast. So I'm using it for toast, peanut butter toast and avocado toast. So it's perfect for that because it's nice and crunchy. So to my avocado, I'm going to add some pepper, some cumin, some lemon pepper, and that's what I almost always put in my mashed up avocado. And here I have a little masher that I've had forever, and I was going to get my daughter one of these, and they're ridiculously expensive on Amazon. They're like $6 last time I looked. So I got her a different kind from Aldi's. Aldi's had these. So, and they were much, much cheaper. So I got her one of these instead, because a lot of times when I go over there for brunch, we have avocado toast. So this is all going to be seasoned to taste, and then I'll be back once I get my brunch made. Well, here is this morning's brunch. It's almost 12:30. So I've got my avocado toast with some everything but the bagel. I had made some cucumber tomato salad. I have a little bit of that. And here I have some vanilla Greek yogurt, and I have a little bit of strawberry preserve that I made quite a while ago. I want to eat that up. And I have some delicious grapes. Aldi's had really, really good sweet grapes this past week when I went shopping. So anyway, that is today's brunch, using up what I have, and some new things. I think that looks great. Well, I just came in from watering. That was a process because everything is really, really dry out there. Haven't had rain for a few days, and even if it hasn't been super, super hot, it still manages to dry everything out. So what I'm doing out there, I connected a leader hose to my faucet. And I'm really trying to figure out how I can configure some kind of little watering system in my garden. But I've come to the conclusion that I have to actually physically set some things here and there so I can visualize how it's going to work, because doing it in my head just isn't working. I can't come up with a plan because things are here and then some things are here. You know, they're not all in one spot. So I'm thinking at some point before next spring, I'm going to have to consolidate everything into the same area so that I don't have to go all over the garden just to water, because that took me a good 40 minutes, I'd say. And then I have to do the front too, which that doesn't take long. That takes me like 10 minutes, which is doable. I don't mind that. So, but my hanging baskets there in the front look just awful. Those petunias are just... So what I did was, I went on Amazon, and this was like a week and a half ago or something, and they just came in the mail yesterday. I ended up getting some faux geraniums, and I think they look pretty good. So there's two of these. So I got two of these, and then in my flower stash, I found these, which are really nice. So I'm going to do some sort of a combination and make a couple of faux hanging baskets. Now I have a couple more faux flowers coming that hang down. So I think between those three things, this one I'm going to have to divide because I only have one of these. So I'll do half in one and half in the other. But I think between the three of them, it'll make a nice full hanging basket that I don't have to water. So I'm always trying to think of things to make life a little easier. Sometimes that's not easy. But anyway, I'm just now finishing my morning coffee, so cheers. It's already 1 o'clock. But I don't have a whole lot planned for today. I cleaned up most of the stuff. I still have some mason jars there that I have to clean, and I have a couple things over there that need to go in the cupboard, but nothing horrendous. So I do have a lot of stuff on my dining room table because it's still gardening stuff that I want to put out in the garden. You know, it's like lights and fountain, not a whole fountain, but the pump. So I still have that to do. And if I don't get moving on that stuff soon, I might as well forget it until next year. So I have things on my dining room table that still need to be put where they belong. But other than that, it's not that big a deal. I started putting up the other shelves, 2 shelves in the garage. So I finally bought the brackets for those a few days ago. So then I'll have a little bit more storage area in the garage. So for me, it's always handy to have shelving. I use the garage for storage. Now, I don't want a storage unit and all that stuff. I have a whole house. I don't need to rent a storage unit because I don't know, sometimes that's throwing good money after bad. And but some of the things that I have are still useful and I want to keep. So, yeah. I'm not going to do a whole lot more today. It's getting warm, but it's a very pleasant day. It's not real hot. It's going to be in the lower 80s this week. But yesterday was nice because it was only in the 70s. But it got cool at night, which is nice. It's good for sleeping. So I still have to paint my front door. I bought paint for that. And honestly, I keep forgetting about it. But, you know, I have up until the fall to get that done. So lots of projects to do. I'm trying to tick them off as best I can. But, you know, sometimes it's a slow go as you get older. You can't get things done as quickly as when you were a young woman or a young man. So, all right, well, I'm going to finish my coffee finally. And then I think I'm probably going to go hang out with my best friend for a while out in the garden. All right, well, this morning I cut back my leggy impatiens. They were getting really leggy. So I didn't cut all of them down, but I cut a bunch of the tops off. So I did that, and I did the same thing to that fuchsia over there. It's looking pretty sad, but I don't know, maybe it'll come back. I need to feed these. That's the problem. So I got that done this morning. My fern is doing beautifully. I don't keep these in the house over winter. I just buy a new one every year. They're very messy. They shed and get dry and just look awful, like this. So I don't keep those ferns over winter. I probably should. It would save me $15. So what I did this morning was I ran this garden hose from over there. I ran it over here. Now I'm going to have to watch my step so that I don't trip over this. But I'm running that into the garden, and it's a short hose. So I have some sprinkler heads that I want to connect that I think might work. I tried one of my grapes this morning. This whole thing is just loaded with grapes, and it was absolutely awful. It was so sour, so they're nowhere near ready to eat. So it was really hard too. So yeah, so that's what I did. I connected it right there, and I'm running it over this way. So then I'll put one little sprinkler head over here, and then I'll probably connect another short hose, and then I have to do this area. So that's not too bad, but this area is like totally somewhere different. So I have to figure out how I'm going to keep that watered. So, but anyway, here's my little fountains. And I found that with these containers, it's best not to put a little fountain head in there, because then it sprays all over and the water just is out of there in no time. But these are the two little fisherman gnome guys that I got. Diana by the beach said I needed those. And of course I did. So yeah, I've been fooling around in the garden this morning, but now it's too hot. And these are actually the old sprinkler heads that I've had forever. And you can cap off one end, and you can connect hose to hose. So I'm going to try those out and see how that works. I should harvest some of these beautiful dill heads, make some pickles. That would be tasty. And I still have, I don't know if you could see that, my spaghetti squash. Well, somewhere there. One there and one over here. So, yeah. Oh, I see I have a yellow squash coming in there. Where is it? If it gets fertilized, who knows? So, yep, and then later on I'll probably come out here. We've got lots of umbrellas, got some tables. I filled up my bird feeder. That's the one that takes the pictures. And my eastern redbud tree refuses to die, so it's coming back. I'm going to try and keep it as a bush. See if I can do that. So everything else is looking pretty good. My little clematis is doing nicely, except it's all dried up over here. So, oh, so loud. So I'm going to have to cut this back in the fall. But it's not dead. It's definitely alive. So, okay. Well, here's a little trip through my garden. I still have the Edelweiss that my son bought us all. It's starting to bloom again. Took me a while to get it planted, so but now that I planted it, it's coming back nicely. All right. Well, that's it for my little garden tour. It's too hot. I'm going to go in. Maybe tomorrow I'll get these weeds. That would be good. Come on, puppies. Let's go in. Come on. There we go. I think Chloe's inside. Sometimes she likes to lay in the sun, but sometimes it gets too hot. Come on, Bandit. Buddy. Oh, he found something over there. All right. Well, that's it for the garden. Well, all right. It was a semi-productive day today. And it's still early, so I can enjoy the rest of the day. But that's all I have for you today, my friends. So I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless you. And I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. It helps my channel grow. Don't forget to share. And thanks for watching.